is Cecilia. I have been to Nairobi several times. I have been collaborating with SDI and Muungano several times, many years ago, throughout the years. I'm now here for this workshop, which is the interim workshop of a big project on the African Cities Research Consortium. My role in this research consortium is to be a co-lead, which is a coordinator of the work on health, well-being and nutrition. So I'm working, supporting teams here in Nairobi, in Freetown in Sierra Leone, and in Lilongwe in Malawi. And there will soon be more cities which are added up to this list.
My name is Joshua Magero. I'm at the University of Cape Town, a postdoctoral researcher. And with this project, I'm with the structural transformation domain. And my role mainly involves looking at what has happened in the labor market in Nairobi City, even as we witness urbanization taking place over time.
My name is Sam Owor. I am basically an urban geographer and also associate professor of urban geography at the Department of Geography and Environmental Studies at the University of Nairobi. Within the SCRC research project, I am representing the health, well-being and the nutrition domain.
It's very interesting. So the interesting thing is that all the participants are experts, also from community organizations, the Muungano experts, the academic experts, the policy experts. So we have here a group of people who know a lot. So we're not trying to understand the basics. What we are trying to now develop and get very much focus on is, with all this knowledge that we have, how are we going to make sure that this contributes to good change, positive change, so to more inclusive cities. My specific work is on, which is health, well-being and nutrition, is key for everyone living in any city. As we have seen with COVID, for example, the first problem is food. How do people get food? How do people get healthy diets which will help them to resist to COVID, but also to resist to climate change, with heat waves, with changing weather dynamics. Healthy diets are really important. We can also see there are still children who are malnourished, far too many, but there are also too much obesity, too many people eating fast food because it is cheaper, it's more convenient. So how do we make sure that there is affordable, healthy food for everyone? That is a universal in every country. Then the specifics of what makes it more difficult for people to have a healthy diet will be very locally determined. Because cities are so dense, there isn't enough land to grow enough food for everyone. So there will still be the need to bring food from outside, but it has to be healthy food. We also probably need to change our diets a bit, eat less meat, because that is something which contributes to climate change. Eat healthy diets also is something which is based on information. People need to know what is healthier, but also recognizing that there is a culture, so people are used to eat something, and yes, a lot of meat or a lot of fried food, for example. So changing that will take some time, and it has to be respectful.
It has happened to workers, both workers and farms, and both in the informal and formal sector. So the results that will be emerging from our studies, we would want to make recommendations to the the Ministry of Labour, for instance, to make policies that would improve the productivity of farms, and also to improve the workers' wages in the industries where they are employed. So we are seeking to propose policies that would enhance the capacity of both workers and firms based on the findings that will be emerging from our study in the structural transformation domain. Yeah, our domain, so as the structural transformation domain, after we have recommended, suggested policy implications that will be arising from our study, it is the uptake team to see into the implementation of this. So they'll be engaging stakeholders that are relevant in the sectors that we will be looking at. That is the labor market sector. The uptake team will be very instrumental in communicating the research findings that we get from our study to the relevant stakeholders for implementation and also for policy formulation. So we'll be working one-on-one with the uptake team in terms of communicating research findings to the policy dimension and also for the implementation stage.
Well, because the central point, right, of every human being, right, is basically health, right, and nutrition, right, and becomes a very central point when right, interventions such as right, accessibility to the right kind of food, because we are talking about the diets here, because nutrition, right, is basically about diets. And then when you relate the good diets with health, then you are producing a healthy, well-being, right, person, right, or a community. So the basic area of intervention here will be basically how to improve the community levels of good nutrition and also relating it to practices which can lead to good health.
What next? Well, here we're going to create more alliances, look more at what are the pathways of all the knowledge which is here, look at how can this be used to change policies. So who are the policymakers who need to be included and brought with the research teams in this travel towards better cities? And how will people from informal settlements going to have a voice and explain why they cannot have a healthy diet? Yes.
Yeah, right. As I said, research is a continuous process. It will never stop because we keep on creating and co-creating, right, knowledge. Research as it is basically research, which means search again, and we shall continue researching. Yes, so research is a continuous process and we shall always produce knowledge because things change over time and space. The food insecurities today may not be the same food insecurities in a month's time, right? Another COVID can come up. So we are talking about very dynamic, right, situations which need very different kinds of, right, solutions with data.
You need support. It's too easy to tell people you should eat differently and then not help them to eat differently.